Hi class, this is Azucena Aranda. Today I will be presenting Sonnet 73. I hope you enjoy. Background. The poet describes himself as nearing the end of his life. He imagined that beloved's love for him growing stronger in the face of death. Sonnet 73 focuses on the theme of old age, also addressed the fair youth. Also, the poet points out how he describes himself in the future or when he dies. Literacy device. Throughout the sonnet, we're able to find literacy devices such as alliteration, imagery, symbolism, consonants, personification, metaphor, and metonymy. Every time a line has literacy device, I will point out the type of language it has. Now, I will read Sonnet 73 to you. The time of year do mice in me behold, when yellow leaves or nor or few do hang upon those buds which shake against the cold, bare ruined shores, where late the sweet bird's song. In me though sits the twilight of such day, as after sunset faded in the west, which by and by black nights do take away, that second self that seals up all in rest. In me though sits the glowing of such fire, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the dead bed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceivest which makes the love more strong, the love that well which thou must live ere long. Section by section. Every two lines I will be explaining the meaning and also I will point out if the line has any literacy device. Line 1. The time of year do mice in me behold. The translation is you can see that time of year. The author must point out this line referring that he's looking his final time in earth. Line 2. When yellow leaves or nor or few do hang. The translation is few yellow leaves or not at all hanging. In line 2, you're able to find literacy devices such as imagery and metaphor. Based on what the author said, we could imagine that is during fall when the leaves of the trees are falling off. Line 3. Upon those buds shake against the cold. It means the branches shaking against the cold. In line 3, have an imagery in the line. The author is making us imagine how the branches are shaking because of the cold weather. Line 4. Bare ruined shores where lay sweet bird song. It means bare ruins of church shore where lay the sweet bird song. On the left corner, I have footnotes. Shores, it's the part of church where divine service was sung. Late means lately. Line 4 have a metonymy when it says bare ruined shores. Metonymy replaces the name of things with someone else. This line reminds me when I used to go to church and I heard the birds song. In this case, I have a feeling that the author might be describing a funeral. Line 5. In me, though sits the twilight of such day. It means you can see the dim light that remains. Line 5 have an imagery and metaphor. How the actor is describing this line is if he is looking to the sunset or the sunrise where there is not much of sun. Line 6. As after sunset faded in the west. It means after sunset in the west. This line have the meaning clear. The line is symbolism. One connection I have is that when you are saying the final goodbye to your loved one, there's always a sunset. Line 7. Which by and by black night doth take away. It means which is soon extinguishing by the black night. The line covers imagery, symbolism, and consonants. The author talks about a black night that soon will fade, but he makes us think if coming next will be the daylight or if he's gone from this world. Line 8. That second self that seals up all in rest. It means imagine of that had involves all in rest. Alliteration and personification line 8 covers. In my opinion, I think that the author, whatever he's imagining or dreaming, he is describing what he's looking. Line 9. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire. It means he compares as a glowing ember. Line 9, it's a metaphor. There could be different interpretation of this line, but how I interpret was that in my religion they talk about heaven and hell. One characteristic of hell is fire, and I believe he's imagined he's going to hell for something bad he might did. Line 10. That on the ashes of his youth do lie. It means lying on the flame of his youth. Line 10 also have a metaphor. The author must be thinking about times when people lie about his youth and it does not look like what others might tell him it was good. Probably he might have not a good youth and now that he is reflecting, it's a lie for him. Line 11. As the deathbed whereon it must expire. It means deathbed where it must expire soon. It's gonna end. The author describes the ending of the death. The dream the author is having, it will become to an end soon. Line 12. Consume with that which it must nourish by. It means consume that which one faded. The note on the left corner belonged to line 12. Choked by the ashes of that which once nourished its flame. The author described the sentence as something he got nourished. How I describe him myself, he might consume a life lesson from what he is describing himself about that. Line 13. This those perceive which makes they love more strong. It means your senses and it makes your love more determined. I feel that the author include this sentence in the sonnet because they want us to reflect and to think ahead that everything we have around us is valuable and we have to appreciate our life. Line 14. To love that well which thou must love ere long. It means love something that which you must give up before. I think this line, the author put it here in the sonnet, and in my opinion, I think it is something contradicting because everyone thinks different, and other people might think that love it is not something that you must give up, but others they will live they will believe the opposite. So I think this line it's depending on how you think the poem affects in your life and how others think because not everyone thinks the same, and I think this sentence will have like a little debate in between people because not all of us will be agree for what the author is telling us. You might be asking why I'd include this picture in this sonnet. And yes, you might be right, it doesn't have nothing to do with the sonnet. But I include this picture because I have a connection. I think that the movie Coco has something to do with Sonnet 73. The movie is fiction, it's not real. And some parts of this movie I found they were interesting and point out some lines of this sonnet because in the sonnet the author was having like a dream. He was describing himself as when he's dead and everything he was reflected. And in the movie, it was describing the life after death. So I think this movie and the sonnet has something in common because both talks about death. And here in the movie, they give us imagery on how to imagine what to expect after we die. And in this sonnet, and the lines that at the end, I have this connection with this movie. I might be wrong, but if we analyze the sonnet and look at the movie, some parts they have to do something. They are connected. In line 2, I talk about the yellow leaves, and look, here in the picture they are yellow leaves. In Mexico, they call them cempasúchil, and I think that the author has something to do with this movie. And this is some connections I have. Also, other connections I must skip important points, but if we really think about it, we do have the movie do have something in common with the sonnet. It's not only about talking about that, with this sonnet it's mostly about, but the movie and the sonnet teach you how to value life and how to be happy even though some members in your family are not with you, or if you are imagining yourself dying, or whatever the case it might be. Thank you for your time and to listen to my video. I hope you enjoy it and have a great time.